born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, greenest state in the land of the free, raised in the woods so's he knew every tree, killed him a bar when he was only 3. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier, fought single-handed through the Injun War till the creeks was whipped and peace was in store. And while he was handling this risky chore, made himself a legend forevermore. Davy Crockett, the man who don't know fear. He went off to Congress and he served a spell, fixing up the government and laws as well. Took over Washington, so we heard tell, and patched up the crack in the Liberty Bell. Davy Crockett, seeing his duty clear. When he come home, his politicking done. The Western March had just begun, so he packed his gear and his trusty gun and lit out a grinning to follow the sun. Davy Crockett, heading out west again.
An exercise in elementary perception, ladies and gentlemen. No chicanery is involved, no natural laws are violated. See for yourselves, neither voodoo, hoodoo, nor Hindu. Prestidigitation, ladies and gentlemen, an old and honorable art. Now watch the little P, and now you see it, and now you don't. Who will try his luck? Well, the man wins, the man loses. The fickleness of fortune, ladies and gentlemen. The hand is not necessarily quicker than the eye. You there, buckskins, you look like sharp lads. Here's your chance at edification and profit.
Oh, don't reckon I hold much with gambling, mister.
A woodsman, a long hunter and far traveler such as you, troubled by moral scruples?
Well, I don't figure gambling's out and out wicked, if that's what you mean. But it sure as tarnation is foolish.
Oh, come. Is it foolish to win handsomely, as my sharp-eyed friend here did a few minutes ago?
Well, now, Mr. Thimblerig, I never gamble for money, but I might just take one go to see which of us treats the crowd.
Choose. So she lies there, does she, Hawkeye? Very well, let's see.
I always like to do my own peeking, Thimblerig.
Oh, you like...
I reckon you didn't catch my friend's name. It's Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett.
Now, how about that treat?
Nothing I like better than a good loser, Thimblerig.
I'm hoist on my own petard, brought low by the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Belly up, boys. The drinks are on me.
Texas? Why, we got the whole tarnal country to choose from, and you gotta pick... Well, there's the Rocky Mountains with valleys no man ever set foot in. And there's the Santa Fe country stretching clear out to California. And Oregon with thousands of miles of rivers and forests just teeming with game, and you have to head off for Texas. Well, there's nothing there but a mess of trouble. How soon you reckon we'll be headed out that way?
Right after we get to Little Rock,
You gonna turn in?
I reckon.
Why, in midday no finer thespian than I ever trod the boards. Oh, and now behold my low estate.
Well, me and Russell are figuring on heading down Texas way. That ain't no country these days for a man with wobbly knees. Well, look, in the morning, don't forget this was your idea.
Don't worry, in the morning, he won't remember nothing.
He heard of Houston and Austin, and so to the Texas plains he had to go, where land was free and there was room to grow, and freedom was fighting another foe. Davy Crockett and Crockett's Company.
Well, there she is, Texas. A man keeps moving around all his life looking for his own particular paradise. I reckon I've found mine.
I miss them green hills of Tennessee. What's the matter, Thimblerig? Ain't you got no curiosity? Very little.
Savages?
Sound like the whole Comanche nation.
Whatever it is, we gotta see it. We was born too late to see buffalo in Tennessee.
Not buffalo, bison.
There's your Comanches.
Reckon that's what stampeded them.
That Injun's crazy. He's heading straight into that prairie dog town.
He says he's hungry.
This, speech?
Sure, it's good anywhere. It's the only way one tribe can talk to another. Davy learned it from the Shawnee.
Lost our hair. Oh.
Says he's willing to join us and lead us to a white settlement.
How far?
One moon to the southwest.
You know, busted luck, you might have a sore head, but there's sure nothing wrong with your stomach.
I say, Colonel, Russell, do you really think that filthy green stuff is fit to drink?
I don't know, it's wet.
I beg your pardon. Oh.
Vámonos, abuelito. Arre, burro. Arre. great eternal, I never hope to see you in this neck of the woods.
Well, why not? Half the state's here. You and Sam Houston.
Yeah, I should have known you'd showed up, too. 2 acres of wall to defend. It'd take at least 1,000 troops to man this garrison adequately, and I've got less than 200 volunteers, including you. They've cut off our main water supply. All we got left is a half-dry well. And on top of that, we don't have enough rations left for a good-sized family dinner back home. And for powder, well, there's just about enough left for a turkey shoot. I don't have to tell you, Davy, that none of this goes outside this room. Now, Davy, we need your breed of men here.
Hey, this ain't no funeral. On your feet and choose your partner. Come on, give us a hold up.
I'm sorry to interrupt the frolic, Crockett, but Colonel Bowie wants to see us.
How is it?
Not so good, I'm afraid.
Shut the door. Boys, I'm gonna have to do something I never did before in my life. I'm gonna have to call it quits. If nobody else will admit it, I'm gonna have to. I owe it to the men. I'm in no shape for command. One of you boys is gonna have to take over for me.
Well, I know my limitations. I'm really a lawyer. I'd be proud to take orders from Colonel Crockett.
Tarnation, man. Around such military men as you and Jim Bowie, don't reckon I'm much more than a high private.
Why, you're the most famous fighting man of our time.
In Tennessee, maybe. But this here is Texas. This is your country.
He's right, Travis. You and I have shared command. You're the logical one. You take over.
All right, sir. But what about you, Colonel Crockett?
Well, I've noticed you have quite a few Tennessee boys here. Let me fill out my company with them. You tell me what you want done, and we'll do it.
Well, how would you like to take over the south wall? That's the most vulnerable.
That'd suit us just fine.
Look at that camp out there. Every morning there's twice as many as there was the night before. I bet there's 2,000 of them by now.
Well, Georgie, the more targets a man has to shoot at, the easier to hit.
Moriarty! His Excellency's offered to let us surrender. He's waiting for an answer. Let's give it to him. Fire in the hole! And beef for breakfast, beef and corn for lunch.
Neither voodoo, hoodoo, nor Hindu. Prestidigitation, an old and honorable art. Now you see it, now you don't. Choose.
You knowed and you figured you couldn't trust me after all the tight ones we've been through. You couldn't trust me?
George.
I thought we was in this together.
Was it necessary to wake me up?
Yeah, you gotta get me out of here.
Well, this is no prison. You can go anytime you want.
Santa Ana ain't got enough men in his whole army to keep me from getting out of this gopher hole.
All right, Russell, I'll have Colonel Boyd's horse saddled up. It's the best mount in the Alamo. You might get through their lines here. If you do, the trail to Goliad's easy. break it to Colonel Bowie.
I reckon he ought to know.
And have him moved to one of those rooms in the chapel where there's more protection.
Pity we didn't meet before.
We could have had some good hunting trips, all right.
Yeah.
Like looking for those lost silver mines of yours.
So you heard that yarn, too? I tell you what. When we finish this chore, we'll go on that search. I know right where to start. It's awful quiet out there.
The defense of the Alamo rests on us alone. Now, I won't minimize the gravity of our situation. General Santa Anna has nearly 5,000 men massed against us. I won't blame any man who doesn't stay. Those who stay, cross over the line.
I sure would appreciate it if some of you had helped me across.
Thank you, men.
You'll be better off in here, Colonel. Besides, you got San Antonio to watch over you.
A lot of things to remember.
Outpost been relieved yet?
About an hour ago. Everything's quiet, Davy.
Here they come! Wait up, man! Take them from your feet! They nearly caught us with our breeches flapping.
Run up the flag.
Well, they'll be playing that again.
stop firing. You ain't it.
Storybooks tell they were all cut low, but the truth of it is, this just ain't so. Their spirits will live and their legends grow, as long as we remember the Alamo. Davy Crockett and Crockett's Company. Davy Crockett, fighting